I went forward to tell my people, I say it is wrong to tie you down to 10% at a time when, by the grace of God, you should be far, far, far above 10%.
Thank you so much. I welcome you to Apostolic Insight. I'm your brother, Great. This video centered on the testimony of one American so many years ago, as presented by His Eminence, Papa Adeboye. We are told of a family, a man and his wife, that said they started business 5 years ago with just $500. And the young man entered into a covenant with God and told him that this business belongs to you. As a result, I will give you 90% of the profit and I will take only 10%. He said, as a result of that covenant, as a result of that sacrifice of paying God 90% tithe, within 5 years, that business hit a turnover of $50 million. Remember, just from $500. Papa Adeboye said he too decided to follow the example of that young man. How did he got to know? He said in this conference, where you have about 17,000 people in attendance, they were raising funds. And this man and his wife walked up to the organizers. And they were allowed to address the gathering. And they said, you people should try and give generously. Do as much as you can. The reason being that we will double whatever you all will give. People were so encouraged. They decided to challenge those people. Let them put them into trouble by donating generously. At the end of the day, the offering was counted. It was just $3.5 million. And the man asked them, is that all you people can do? Is that all? That was what motivated Papa Adeboye to corner the man after the conference and to ask him the secret. The man then told him the covenant he made with God, how he gives God 90% and takes only 10%. Papa Adeboye came back to Nigeria. That was so many years ago, and decided to follow that footstep of that young man that adopted this example. Although he confessed he has not gotten up to 90%, but he does not give God 10%, as other people do.
That several years ago, I went to Tulsa to attend Kenneth Higgins camp meeting. And they wanted to take an offering for their Bible college. And one man came to the altar together with his wife and asked for permission to speak. And they gave him the microphone. And he said, I beg all of you who are here today, give very well, because whatever all of you give, that's what my wife and I alone will give. And we were about 17,000 people. What is this man saying? He said, anything all of you put together can give. That's what my wife and I alone will give. So some people say, this man is in trouble. Those who didn't want to give before now began to give. At the end, he said they should count everything. They counted, and it was $3.5 million that was contributed. They announced it. And we thought, hey, you are the one who got yourself into trouble. He took the microphone and said, brethren, is this all you can do? He said, 5 years ago, I started a business with $500. And I told God, this is your business. You are my senior partner. I will not insult you by giving you 10%. I will give you 90%. And I will. The turnover of that little company is $50 million.
You can begin to review this thing. This is what they call transactional gospel. And this is at the root of the poverty you see in Nigeria. It's contributing greatly to the poverty of the Nigerian people. This type of teaching. You see, the world laughs at us. They have reason to laugh at us. Whosoever is of sound mind and is a technocrat, a core professional, and listening to this testimony, the person may not even give his life to Christ again. It's so shameful, so disgusting. It's meaningless. What kind of human being will commit this blunder? Your turnover, not your profit. Turnover of your company, not your profit, not your salary, not your savings. Turnover of the company you are running is just 50 million. And you are challenging thousands of people in a competition for giving. Whatever they give, you double it. In that gathering, where people worth over 200 million, some people there are worth over 1 billion, but they did not get themselves involved in this kind of rascality, meaningless thing, no sense in it. Had it been, we had 3 or 4 people there who said, well, you see, just because of this little amount of money you have, and they decided to give maybe 10 million. At the end of the day, you count the offering. It turns out to be 32 million or 33 million, $33 million. Then the nonsense human being who is not trained, who is not organized, will then double it. If the offering has turned out to be 25 million, he will double it. If it has turned out to be 20 million, he will double it. From a turnover, not profit, turnover of 50 million. You come out and challenge this. And this is what men are teaching for Nigerians to follow this example. Because after Papa Adeboye presented this testimony, other church leaders started picking it. I have a video on Paul the Nature. See how he was gyrating in his church on this testimony also. This is so sad. The take home we needed from Papa Adeboye is to tell us from his own example, from his own experience. You that is following this covenant, you that is following what this man is doing, we needed to know. After 10 years, you followed it. Where are you now? Can you challenge those in redeem and say you all should give? After giving, I will double it. Can you challenge them? Let's assume others are not faithful. They are not so committed to paying their tithes. They are not paying 20% or 30% or 40%. But thank God you decided to follow this man. Even when you have not gotten to 90, God is not waiting for you to get to 90. Even if you are 30, 20, he will still bless you. He said, even at 10, I will bless you, and there will not be room enough to receive it. We needed Papa Adeboye, who had queued into this testimony to give us practical proof of what God had done for him, and use that to present to the people. Can you see how we weaponize poverty? Your turnover is 50 million. then you carry yourself out. Those in Arab nation, go to Saudi Arabia, go to so many developed countries, even that US is talking about. What's 50 million? There are some Arab princes that will give you $50 billion. They will not even make noise. You will not even know that they can just drop as an offering $5 billion. They will not even make noise. Somebody whose turnover is $50 million brought himself out. And that is the example we are presenting to the church. That is why you hear the teaching of give you Isaac, a man whose turnover, money for business, is just about 1 million naira. He will be cajoled, lobbied. Every method will be adopted. The person will sow that money and seed. Go and see what it's costing. So there are things, when you just look at it, you say, no. This word does not even appeal to common sense. The world will laugh at us. Men of God should present themselves as living example for people to follow. Not unknown, imaginary testifiers somewhere. Unknown. Only known to the man of God. All the people under him that have been paying tithe year after year, none can give this testimony. And say, oh, all of you, give. Whatever you give, I'll double it. None. Even those in government, none can give this testimony. This is not too good for the gospel. Let us do things that will deepen Christianity. Let us do things that will prosper the people. Let us teach people the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. Let them know it. That he was rich. For our sake he became poor. That we through his poverty was made rich, not will be made rich. We should not frustrate the grace of God. If righteousness come by the law, Christ died in vain. Let religious leaders learn and allow people to enjoy in fullness the benefit of the cross of Jesus Christ, the benefit of that vicarious work. Let them seek everything from God at Christ's expense, not on their own merit. If you want to obey the law, obey all. But we are saved by grace. It's not by works. It's not by our own righteousness. Let us remain at all time. Let us be found in that righteousness that is of faith of our Lord Jesus Christ. Then that's Philippians 3 verse 9. Let people learn. Let us share this video. Let us be part of what God is doing for the prosperity of the people, to deepen Christianity, for us to grow in righteousness, for us to grow in good works, not anchoring it on any other thing, but let it just be by grace and by grace only. Thank you for your time. God bless you.